7 reasons getting plenty of sleep is important. How much sleep should you be getting every night? This depends on a lot of factors. Everyone is different, so you might need more or less sleep than someone else your same age and gender. In most cases, though, you can just follow these recommendations for the amount of restful sleep you need every night. 6 to 12 years of age, 9 to 11 hours. Teenagers, 8 to 10 hours. 19 years to 60 years of age, 7 to 9 hours. Those are recommended daily sleep times offered by several health authorities. Your personal experience may vary. That having been said, a lot of us admit to not getting the sleep we need to function properly during the day. Why is that an issue? If we don't get as much sleep as we need every now and then, what's the big deal? You can just make up for it later, right? Actually, that isn't right. You can't catch up on sleep. Sleep researchers tell us that once you miss out on the sleep you need during a 24-hour period, the damage has been done. You can't oversleep the next day and offset that damage. Here are 7 more reasons why getting plenty of rest is important. 1. It's easier to maintain a healthy body weight. Your sleep habits can heavily influence whether or not you're overweight. This has to do with hormones and chemicals which are produced while you sleep. Some studies show that a lack of sleep can also lead to less motivation to exercise. Those combined influences could lead to weight gain, overweight, and obesity. One study conducted in 2020 showed the importance of getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night for adults. Those adults who slept less on average were 41% more likely to be obese. It's easier to reach and maintain a healthy body weight when you get plenty of sleep at night. 2. You have more focus and productivity. Improved concentration and better productivity are benefits of healthy sleep habits. You might not need us to tell you this. You're probably well aware of the brain fog that can accompany not getting enough sleep. 3. Sleep loss leads to inflammation. Inflammation is a symptom and cause of many serious health problems. Chronic inflammation can lead to obesity and heart disease, certain cancers, depression, type 2 diabetes, and Alzheimer's. Sleep plays a major role in controlling inflammation. 4. Your immune system needs sleep. Your immune system fights to keep you healthy. When it's strong, it effectively resists disease and illness. When it's weak, which is what happens when you don't get enough sleep regularly, you raise the risk of becoming sick from any cause. Healthy sleep habits promote a healthy immune system. 5. Poor sleep can lead to depression. Higher levels of depression, anxiety, and stress are directly linked to poor sleeping patterns. 6. Don't get enough sleep and type 2 diabetes might be your reward. A lot of things have to happen for you to become diabetic. Short sleep is not the only cause. Bearing that in mind, several studies show that not getting enough sleep raises your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. 7. Healthy sleep habits make your heart stronger. There are several different bodies of research that back up this claim. Looking at the data from 19 studies reveals a 13% increase in death from heart disease when you consistently sleep less than 7 hours per 24-hour period. Another study showed that sleeping fewer than 5 hours per night means a 61% higher risk of developing high blood pressure. Get at least 7 hours of sleep every night, and you're less likely to suffer a heart attack or develop heart disease. Feeling tired? Here are 5 simple tips to get better sleep tonight. How many times during the day do you feel tired? Now think about how you got that way. If you're tired after physical exertion, that's normal. Working your brain can be tiring as well. Stress can wear you down until you feel exhausted, both physically and mentally. Some medications have exhaustion as a side effect. Chronic fatigue is an underdiagnosed condition that millions suffer from around the world. There are lots of reasons why you might feel tired during the day. Much of the time, poor sleep habits are the culprit. The Philips Global Sleep Survey of 2019 tells us at least 67% of adults report sleep disturbances at night. Data from that study also tells us that 62% of adults from across the globe don't sleep as restfully as they would like. Can you identify? If you want to stop feeling tired during the day, here are 5 tips that can help you sleep better at night. 1. Exercise in the morning. Physical activity throughout the day can help you sleep at night. You probably know this. You run down your body physically and it needs time to rest and repair. That's what your body does when it shuts down for sleep. What you may not know is that moderate to intense physical activity in the early morning can help you fall asleep and stay asleep in the evening. This might be counterintuitive. Exercising wears you out, so you might think it's smarter to be physically active right before bedtime. Actually, this isn't the case. There are several studies which show that exercising in the morning is better for getting restful sleep at night than if you enjoy physical activity at any other time of the day. 2. Avoid caffeine later in the day. Caffeine reaches its most potent level about an hour after you consume it. This gives you the familiar energy spike you get from a cup of coffee. What some people don't realize is that up to 50% of caffeine is still in your body a full 6 hours later. It can take as many as 10 hours for your body to completely flush caffeine out of your system. Apply this knowledge to your sleeping schedule. Count backwards from bedtime. Try not to consume any significant amount of caffeine for 10 or more hours before you go to sleep. 3. Develop a sleep schedule. If you can sleep when it's dark outside, that's the preferred schedule. This is because of your circadian rhythm. That sleeping-waking schedule was pre-programmed into your earliest ancestors. It makes you more likely to stay awake during the day and sleep at night. Whatever schedule you draw up for your sleeping and waking hours, stick to it. You can program your brain to anticipate sleep when you go to bed at the same time every night. Wake up at the same time the next morning as well. Sticking to a predictable and consistent sleep schedule has been proven to help people sleep more restfully. 4. Bathe in bright lights during the day. Here we go with the circadian rhythm again. Human beings used to spend the majority of their existence outdoors. The sun would bathe them in light all day long, and humans were naturally inclined to stay awake. When night fell and darkness beckoned, sleepy time ensued. You can use this natural sleep-triggering mechanism to your advantage. Enjoy more exposure to bright lights during the day, and much less at night. This can help you get the much-needed sleep you deserve if you often feel tired during the day. 5. Ditch the technology at night. If you accuse us of repetition here, we're guilty as charged. Exposure to electronic displays and the blue light they emit could be what's causing you to feel tired. It interrupts sleeping patterns. Some people even check their phone throughout the night, and this is doing nothing but harm to overall health and well-being. It's also robbing you from energy during the day, so kick as many consumer electronics devices out of your bedroom as you can for better sleep and more all-day energy. Tired? Always lacking energy? It could be diabetes knocking at your door. 2 out of every 3 people are overweight or obese. Some health authorities believe that number is as high as 3 out of 4. Go back just a few years and compare the prevalence rate of being overweight, and you'll see it's on a steady and slow rise. It has been for decades. You probably don't need to be told that carrying around excess body weight can be exhausting. It wears you down. Business Insider reports that gaining just 10 pounds physically alters your DNA, and not in a good way. You're more likely to have feelings of depression and anxiety. Your brain chemistry is negatively affected. You have less energy. Foods may seem like they have less flavor, and your sex life pays the price as well. By the way, packing on the pounds can lead to prediabetes and the development of type 2 diabetes. 100 million Americans are pre-diabetic. Prediabetes is a collection of conditions. When you have several symptoms, it means that type 2 diabetes will develop if you don't take some course of action to prevent it. One of the biggest problems with prediabetes is that most people don't know they have it. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, say that over 80% of people with prediabetes have not been diagnosed or simply don't know they're on the road to type 2 diabetes. This is not a problem just in the United States. Much of the world has adopted lifestyle practices that are custom-made for diabetes development. A combination of little physical activity, high stress levels, and poor eating habits is globally common. That means that prediabetes and type 2 diabetes, which are both avoidable and reversible, are a problem in most countries. Those conditions might be what's robbing you of your energy. Being overweight leads to fatigue. Carrying around all that extra weight requires energy. The person leading a lifestyle which caters to prediabetes often reaches for unhealthy energy sources as a result. This spikes insulin and blood sugar. That can deliver dehydration and other factors which cause fatigue and a lack of energy. What can you do to keep this from happening to you? Don't eat as many highly processed foods. Kick the sugar to the curb. Enjoy plenty of leafy greens and fresh vegetables. Get more healthy foods into your diet and eat less fast food. Become more physically active. Get up and moving. Whenever you're sedentary and sitting for more than 30 to 45 minutes, enjoy some physical activity. These are simple tips to keep prediabetes and diabetes at bay. They might be all you need to enjoy overall better wellness and stop feeling tired and exhausted. Tired, exhausted, worn down? Drink more water. Feeling tired is sometimes a good sign. It could mean you just enjoyed a health-boosting exercise session. Perhaps you went for a brisk walk with a friend. You might have finally cleaned out that spare bedroom you've been using as a catch-all storage system. There are a lot of reasons why being physically worn down is a good thing. At other times, feeling tired doesn't make a lot of sense. You can't figure out what's causing your exhaustion. You don't even feel like you have the energy to do something simple. Just moving through your normal daily routine seems impossible. It's this type of lack of energy that points to a cause for concern. Sometimes beating those tired feelings and enjoying more energy is as simple as drinking more water. How much water should you be drinking every day? Check out your favorite health authority and see what they have to say on the subject. What you'll find is that most reputable sources of health information recommend consuming a gallon of water every day. This doesn't just mean you drink water in beverages. Take account any water present in the food you eat. Generally speaking, though, it's suggested that the typical person pass a gallon or so of water through his or her body every day. This is important for so many reasons. Proper hydration maintains a healthy and steady body temperature. Maintaining a healthy body temperature is important. You may already know this. You've probably experienced severe heat and severe cold before. Exposure at extreme hot and cold temperatures can terminate human life in just a few minutes. That's a drastic example used to show how important it is to maintain a healthy body temperature. This is something proper hydration does very well. Your body composition is roughly 2/3 water, and there's a reason for that. It's important for so many of your bodily processes to work properly, and that includes body temperature maintenance. Drinking water curbs unhealthy food cravings. Sip water all day long and you can keep from overeating unhealthy foods. By constantly putting small amounts of water into your system, you feel full throughout the day. This can keep you from turning to simple carbohydrate cravings that lead to weight gain and energy loss. Water is also an excellent detoxing agent. It efficiently removes toxins and waste material from your body. This further decreases the odds that you pack on extra pounds, which can make you feel tired and run down. Water provides a much-needed energy boost. WebMD reminds us that two of the earliest symptoms of dehydration are fatigue and low energy. An insufficient water intake can lead to restless sleep, and that can steal your energy the following day. As a wonderful side benefit, water also improves the health of your skin and hair. It boosts physical performance and keeps your important bodily fluids regulated. If you often feel tired or run down for no reason, make sure you're drinking enough water daily. Sufficient water consumption leads to overall health and wellness and can give your energy a much-needed boost. The difference between chronic fatigue syndrome and just feeling tired. We all have times when we lack energy. After a long, hard day at work, you might be tired in the evening. Is that normal, or is it a sign of a bigger problem? If you're tired after exercising, especially if you're not used to intense physical activity, it might just be normal. On the other hand, you might be suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a lot more common than most people think. What is chronic fatigue syndrome, or CFS? With the word fatigue in its name, it's easy to understand that CFS is an energy problem. This is an issue for more than 800,000 people in the United States, according to a 4-year study out of Wichita, Kansas. Women seem to be much more susceptible than men, almost 4 times as much. The bigger problem is that this is almost always an undiagnosed condition. Many medical professionals haven't been trained to properly diagnose CFS as opposed to exhaustion related to some other health issue. The American ME and CFS Society reports that only about 16% of people with this illness have been diagnosed. The problem is the same in Great Britain, where it's estimated that more than 250,000 people suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome. Statistics from the Netherlands, Africa, Japan, Australia, and Canada show that this is definitely a global issue. Here are a few of the classic symptoms of CFS. difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep, muscle aches and pains, problems paying attention and staying focused, memory issues, joint pain, swollen lymph nodes, flu-like symptoms, a chronic lack of energy. If untreated, CFS can be very debilitating. As you can see from the list of symptoms, it's easily misdiagnosed. These are conditions which might appear with a number of health problems. That's why you should consider talking to your doctor if you feel tired much of the time. That's not a normal situation. We all have busy, hectic lives. Because of our sedentary nature, many of us might experience exhaustion or lack of energy. That can certainly be normal when you consider modern lifestyle habits. It's not normal when this condition persists. If you've experienced the above symptoms for 6 months or more, schedule an appointment with your doctor. Mention chronic fatigue syndrome specifically and be open to treatment. This is a condition which is easily managed, but not until you've received the proper diagnosis.